what advice do you have for aspiring project managers in the context of differentiation by industry or differentiation by, for example, technology?
One of the key things I would say here, not that core project management skills are very important, you also have to gain deep knowledge of specific industries. There's one key saying I work with. I heard it and it stood with me. What you focus on expands. So the more you focus on your niche, you realize that whether it's the tool or the methodology or whatever, they are so wide and varying in nature that if you are not in tune with them, you would not know what is going on and you will be in that field. So whether you're in tech, finance, healthcare, it is understanding how your industry works and then now seeing how you can stand out is very key, especially getting to that future you see for yourself. Because there are too many high-skilled people and you cannot push them aside. Collaborate with people, then you see more from their own lenses and that automatically builds your own knowledge as well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life and IT Project Management, where we bridge the gap between life and IT project management with practical, relatable content for aspiring PMs and experienced project and program managers. And of course, seasoned professionals alike. In this episode, I am joined by Victoria Olamide, a seasoned project manager and business development expert with a proven track record in helping businesses scale operations, boost revenue, and streamline processes. She excels in driving team efficiency, meeting project deadlines, and ensuring top quality outcomes for our stakeholders and clients. Victoria is passionate about delivering the strategies and systems businesses need to thrive, making her an invaluable partner for any growth-focused organization. Join me in welcoming Victoria Olamide.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you. So, for those who don't know, I am originally from Lagos, right? I moved to US, then moved to Canada. So it was important to me to connect with someone who understands that context very well, and Victoria does understand that context. So our topic today is from Lagos to the world, her journey as a project manager in emerging markets. And this is supposed to be able to help project managers in emerging markets. So it's going to be a bit of a personal narrative on her journey. All right, so I'll be diving into the questions. I'll begin with the first question. Can you share key milestones in your journey toward becoming a project manager and how those experiences shaped your understanding of the role?
In addition to being a project manager, I'm also a lawyer. So I evolved from law to project management. I'm a qualified lawyer. Like I always tell people, I didn't throw away my certificate. Majorly, I evolved. I always use the word evolved into project management because I realized one of the reasons why I wanted to move into project management had kind of an intersection with law as well. Because when it comes to managing people, leading projects, I actually excel in that. Then when it comes to negotiating, yes, seeing eye to eye with people and mixing in the middle ground, I discovered that was like a strong suit for me. So in order not to just to limit myself to law, so I believe beyond law, there was so much more I could do beyond the four walls of the court. And that was when I started thinking about what else. And also, I think for COVID, people going into tech and working remotely with companies anywhere in the world. So I saw that and I was like, okay, so I could be in my bedroom and be working anywhere, like from any part of the world, and I'll still be making meaningful impacts. People would see my progress, people would see the impact I'm making, and someone I've never met or may never meet would actually make decisions based on my story. So that really challenged me, and I was like, okay, I could give this a try. So that was one of the things that propelled me into project management. I read about it, and of course, there are several areas in project management. So I let to see the one that particularly aligned with my core vision, and of course, that was where I chose, and I started upskilling in that area. At the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to merge it together with law or if I was ready to just leave law for a while and then focus on this. A lot of struggle. Thankfully, I have supportive systems, family and all, and they never questioned me. So I was able to go into it full time, and it's been a journey, especially for a country like Nigeria, whereby I would say project management is evolving. It's not like, the US, if you tell people you're in the US, you're a project manager, you are recognized. But yeah, it's like anybody can be a project manager, whether you're a doctor. The career itself is evolving now, especially with the recognition of place on it post-COVID, like I said, because a lot changed in the trajectory in Nigeria. So post-COVID, the professional is particularly gaining some grounds, and I think I'm enjoying it generally. I am.
Awesome. Awesome. So basically, it's been from law to being a business PM to being exposed to, for example, a few challenges, the COVID also coming in, then
Yeah.
also seeing how technology can help get
Oh, yeah.
infused in great in several industries, and you being a
Yeah.
part of that, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So how have you navigated the differences in the requirements to be competent in, for example, from being a business PM, like what were the things you did as a business PM from being a PM competent in another industry?
All right. Like I said initially, one of the core areas I wanted to focus on was, I think corporate development part of PM. And initially, I didn't even know that area existed because I just felt, oh, if you're not a technical project manager or an IT project manager, maybe a professional, because they're kind of fit. But there was an interview I had with a foreign company in the UK, and one of the particular things that was requested, the requirement was an undergraduate degree in law. So that got me thinking. So it was like, also there are areas whereby being a lawyer actually comes in handy, which means if you are not a law graduate, you can't even apply for that kind of role because it was an edge. So I started looking into more of the corporate side of project management, which made me actually evolve into business management. Now that's the business development rather. So like that, I worked with organizations that were majorly focused on expanding, getting investors, and also not just investments now, but within the local their local territory and even beyond. Also being able to navigate the kind of terrains and getting clients exactly what they needed was really key because you realize that a lot of things that you felt while in school, although they are transferable skills, you still need to upskill because at the end of the day, if you're not very vast in what you're doing, it will show in your output. So I need to take courses of skill, business strategy, business development, and key courses like that in order to actually be able to own my own news. And eventually, I got interested in AI. Like I said, post-COVID really changed the trajectory of a lot of things. So I was like, hey, AI is the new thing now, and one key thing I love about project management is in the next 20, 30 years, it will still be recognized because that's one thing AI cannot take away. It can manage processes, it can manage projects and all, but it cannot manage people because people are very dynamic. That's one of the reasons why I was like, fine, I know this is the kind of career that I would actually thrive in. And then I started looking at the advantages of AI. That's when I started looking into technical project management now. So in AI itself and how it can be beneficial and how to leverage it. And also, I started considering companies that does large language models, LLMs, and I started trying to apply in that area to get into the industry. And so far, it's been a journey. One key thing I would say is, in order to actually be able to move, don't assume, rather learn, like be ready to upskill. Whether paid or unpaid courses, be ready to upskill.
That definitely journey leads me to my next question. So
Yeah.
in your experience, what has the balance been between practical project management, like what's happening in the real world, versus these methodologies, PMP or other ones?
Yeah.
Um, what has been your experience with regards to the difference between both?
Okay. As we know, the traditional project management projects are not so definite, but at the end of the day, you realize that major organizations actually leverage the hybrid method. Because at the end of the day, you see that as you are making use of the wonderful methodology, you actually leverage the agile. As you're waiting for you to make change requests and wait till the end of it, you're actually, trying to inspect feedback back to back and being able to get the opinions of your stakeholders, your clients, your users, be able to integrate it into your processes. So I would say that when it comes to practicality, most times, more often than not, especially for companies that are evolving now, like evolving and trying to actually move with the trends of things and seeing the future of what they're going to be doing in the next 10, 30 years, I would say that hybrid methodology has proven to actually generate more output than the just agile or just waterfall, because the processes, the people, resources, and everything be fast.
I was having a conversation with Stevan Stotkovic yesterday, and he was talking about, we were talking about future proofing project management approaches, meaning that regardless of whatever happens, whatever we land on will be a hybrid of sorts. We will borrow elements. For example, there's Speed3.express, there's Speed5.express. These are systems that help with projects, program, portfolio management, using or integrating different approaches, depending, but keeping it minimalistic, right?
Exactly.
So what you're saying definitely aligns with that. And there are people who don't even know the other methodologies that exist. And there are
Yes.
so many. Even within Agile alone, there are 40. So thank you for that. Now, how do you see the path forward for project managers serving local and international markets in terms of the speed of upskilling? Because they get into a job in a company that has talent globally located or located in North America, for example,
Yeah.
and they get exposed to the gaps in their knowledge and all that. So what do you see the path forward for PM serving those markets and their upskilling required?
All right. In this regard, I would say every PM, whether you are aspiring or you're a veteran or whatever category you call in, always embrace continuous learning. Because with the way in which I think they call this generation Gen Alpha. Yeah, Gen Alpha, right? Not even Gen Z anymore. At the rate in which things are going, you realize that what works yesterday might not work today. And even if it's competing with what is going to come up tomorrow. So if you are not abreast of what is going on, or the emerging industry trends, you realize that you will not be able to keep up with things that are coming. And also, the use of AI and data analytics now really comes in handy. For example, when it comes to all these large language models, LLMs, like I mentioned earlier, or which can drive product innovation, when it comes to how to use maybe, for instance, automation tools now. If you're not continuously improving to be able to understand what maybe a current update just came up with, you realize that every time you go there, you'll be told to update and upgrade. Even what you were using your 2 hours, 3 hours to solve before, you're not even aware that because of the updates now, you can now spend 20 minutes doing it. You realize that you wasted time. So that means you must continuously be abreast of what is going on. That's what I would advise every here and now, everybody with whatever category you belong, to continuously embrace continuous learning, because things will keep coming up. We can't change it. We can't. And at the pace in which they are going on now, it's not even like before. It's like now they are going at a geometric progression, not arithmetic anymore. So if you are not constantly involved, you'll be left behind.
That leads to the last question. Any aspiring PM, and even in any field, you start thinking, how do I establish differentiation in a world filled with so many top tier talent? Yes, we know that there are so many people who are not as talented, but how do I establish my differentiation, my unique skill sets?
I
How do I
agree.
present myself for opportunities, right? So in light of that, what advice do you have for aspiring project managers in the context of, is it differentiation by industry, or is it differentiation by, for example, technology?
So one of the key things I would say here would be to build, most of the core project management skills are very important. You also have to gain deep knowledge of specific industries. Because, like I said, it was when I got into project management, I realized I tell people, oh, I'm a project manager. And they'll be like, what kind of project manager? And I'm like, I confused. I'm like, is project manager not project manager? Then that was in the early days. So it was during my research, I discovered that no, as much as just a project management, the space is wide. You'll be surprised that even within the niche, there are hundreds of niches that if you're not careful, and some they have maybe just thin line differentiating them, but then they're different. Because it's when you actually go further, you realize that no, they are not the same. For instance, the way people usually mistake both project managers and project managers. They may be actually taking care of processes, but you realize that for project managers, they're taking care of how it is done, not what like product managers are taking care of. So with the project management itself, I would advise that depending on the industry you are, whether it's the health, construction, the corporate side, business, tech, IT, whatever it might be, gain deep knowledge of it because there's one key saying I usually work with. I heard it and it stood with me. What you focus on expands. So the more you're telling to focus on your niche, you realize that whether it's the tool, not only just the tools or the methodology or whatever, they are so wide and varying in nature that if you're not in tune with them, you would not know what is going on and you will be in that field. So whether you're in sex, finance, healthcare, whatever it is, understanding how your industry works, first off, understanding and then now seeing how you can stand out is very key, especially being that kind of or getting to that kind of future you see for yourself. Because there are so many high skilled people in this field. And you cannot push them aside. They are very skilled, they are good, they know what they're doing. So what makes it stand out is not necessarily compete or compare yourself. Rather, look for how to collaborate. That was one of the reasons why I was so happy to jump on this because, collaborating with like my seeing how things work over there. If you don't know, you will think just because you are in one corner of the world that's the same way things operate everywhere. But no. Rather than competing, I would advise collaborate with people, then you see more from their own lenses, and that automatically builds your own knowledge as well. Sure.
Awesome. Awesome. So in summary, you've spoken about, and I would like to highlight the fact that Victoria did mention that she was able to present herself for an interview based on the fact that she had a legal background. And it was
Yeah,
supposed to be a PM interview.
yeah, yeah,
Likewise, when you do have T-shaped skill sets, you understand to an extent the technicalities of governance or
yeah,
regulatory
yeah,
requirements of the
yeah,
specific industry you are in. You're not expected to be the expert in it, but at least understand when requirements are being discussed, when delivery approaches are being discussed. It is important as a project manager that you can even help drive or facilitate what the team members come up with, right?
yeah.
So those were the most important things. So for any aspiring PM in Nigeria seeking to make themselves available to the global market, the most important thing, as Victoria has pointed out, you need to develop your T-shaped skill set by industry, right? I'll use what you focus on, and she would have gotten from elsewhere. What you focus on does expand, right? And that's how you establish differentiation too, so that you won't get to be considered for opportunities. So those are the most important thing. And you can be anywhere and access any opportunity. And don't limit yourself, right? So in conclusion, Victoria, how can the audience best reach you, and what should they look out for coming from you? Shop?
Okay. I didn't mention this earlier because so you saved the best for last, right? So recently, I co-founded a community. For now, we're on LinkedIn, and it's called PM's Connect. That's Project Managers Connect, but short PM's Connect. And our goal is to actually bridge the gap between, training and the theoretical aspect of project management and the real world practice, what experience now. That's the goal. We launched, that was in August, and so far, our community is expanding. We have almost 1K following now on LinkedIn. And even within the community that we are building on WhatsApp, we have close to about 200 now. And that has made me realize that so many people, so many people within the project management, especially those that are just starting out, are confused. I initially faced that confusion too when I started because I evolved, right? But I didn't say I couldn't find mentors in project management. But one of the things I did, after you've taken a course, you're ready to just launch out to go and find your feet, start applying for jobs. I tried reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and I discovered that even veterans have not, like, you would realize that a lot of them have like following, but the last time you've seen it was 9 months ago, 6 months ago. So there was no way I could even ask or seek, advice or knowledge or whatever. So that was a major gap. Then I was able to, meet with my co-founders and we realized that we had something in common. we all experience that gap. So, and we came together to bridge it. So I would say for any aspiring project managers out there seeking to find their feet or a particular community to help drive their vision in order for them to be able to get to where they want easier and earlier, faster as well. They said if you want to journey fast, move alone. But if you want to break bounds, then move with a group. So I would say PM's Connect is your go-to. And yeah, we've had series of workshop projects like live projects now that we organize within ourselves, and we actually invite experts to actually answer pertinent questions that individual or even collectively that people might have, and even give suggestions and ideas into how to move ahead. We're making progress, so, and we have a lot of projects coming up before the end of the year, and I look forward to seeing everybody join us.
Thank you so much for everything you've shared. Yes, there will be 27 million project managers by 2030.
Yeah.
And that community, that volume does need a lot of mentorship and a lot of engagement, right? And 40% of them will be IT project managers, because all industries will augmentation of some sort, right? So that is very important. Now, if you have learned something from this episode, please comment. Please send myself or Victoria.
Yes, Victoria Olamide on LinkedIn. Just tell me you came from the podcast, and I would love to connect with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So you can reach out, you can comment, but more importantly, we would like that you subscribe to the Life and IT Project Management YouTube channel, because we have 4 target personas that we would want to be able to support effectively going forward. And once you get to that channel, you'll see what we're talking about. All right. Until our next episode, please remember, every man is the architect of his own fortunes. Thank you.